It's a global press conference.
Yes.
This is a global statement.
Yes, it is, sir.
You're addressing the global media.
The contribution in it.
You hear?
Yes, I don't know. Yeah. I think
The local guy here would, but you don't have to tell the world.
No.
Yeah.
The local
Oh,
media.
I'll tell them,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
All right, are we ready?
Do me a favor. Close that door, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
What's the running order?
Oh, you don't have that.
Me neither, but does it matter how it run?
No, I just sent it.
You just make sure it's
Send it to
order.
me? Send it to me real quick.
And you are 1 hour. So
I'll get you one right now, Minister. I'll get it to you now.
Get a hard copy of it.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I just had it electronically. Sending now. One second.
I was your Namibia Minister of Tourism this morning. They're setting up a center in Namibia. But now we're very keen on driving the MOUs, the boat sports and tourism, immediately. And I want to make a visit here. And they
Feel the pulse, feel the vibe, feel it in your heart.
Sunshine smiling warm up inside your heart. Feeling of pure love. Oh, Jamaican heartbeat. Dancing to the beat up inside your heart. Heartbeat of the world. Oh, Jamaican heartbeat. Jamaican heartbeat.
Jamaica.
Can you feel it? Jamaican heartbeat.
Love it.
Heartbeat of the world. Beyond compare. Nothing like it anywhere. Share, eat and drink. We move and dance with you. No matter where you are.
No matter where you come
No
from.
matter where you're from. Join in the party. You're welcome.
They laugh,
You're
smile,
welcome.
chop. So me say greetings, welcome to one and all, to the land of scat, reggae and dancehall. There we go beach, river and waterfall, and we have a lot of party when the night fall. Whole a vibe, eat something with a drink in your hand, rum beer, jerk chicken, roast fish, yellow yam. Them say we beat unique, so every boy, every girl come to Jamaica, the heartbeat of
You
the
got me
world.
going. Jamaican heartbeat.
Jamaica,
Can you feel it? Jamaican heartbeat. Heartbeat of the world.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Fiona Fennell. Thank you so much for joining us for this very, very special occasion.
getting feedback.
Don't need that? This mic don't need to be on? No?
All right. Good morning again, everyone. Thank you so much. And apologies for our little delay, but thank you for joining us for this very special occasion. My name is Fiona Fennell. And I'll be quickly taking you through our proceeding this morning. Let me just start by introducing persons within the room, starting with our Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Edmund Bartlett. We have beside him our Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports, Minister Honorable Olivia Grange. I also have to my right, Chairman of the Jamaica Tourist Board, John Lynch. And across from me, I have the CEO of the Jamaica Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation, Mr. Chris Stokes. And beside him is our Director of Tourism, Donovan White. Now, I would like to hand over to the man of the moment, I would say, the instigator, conceptualizer, and a former bobsledder. Hello. Mr. Chris Stokes, please, I'll ask you to take the mic and give your remarks.
Which one did I use?
Yes.
This one?
Yes, please turn that. Thank you.
The one with the one national.
Don't feel like the color of the mic.
No, man, no, oh boy. Well, thank you very much, Ms. Fennell. It's been a pleasure working with you on this. Yes, it's been a pleasure working with you on a sort of a whirlwind tour of arrangement. I'd like to recognize Honorable Edmund Bartlett, a Bayman, and somebody who had a long relationship, and it's just been very, very positive and inspiring. The Honorable Olivia Bobsleigh Grange, a Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, and our guardian angel in the Jamaica Bobsleigh program. Mr. Chairman John Lynch, we're just reminiscing. We've been down this road many times. We've done a lot of interesting things on 3 or 4 occasions. I recognize and salute your vision, your determination, and your creativity, and thank you very much, sir. My longtime friend before he rose to high places, he still takes my calls, Mr. Donovan White. We're still trying to break out certain habits he learned in high school, but that's probably a lifelong project. Members of the media, welcome. I think it's important as we go down the road to remember where we're coming from, background in Jamaica Bobsleigh. I want to remember this morning George Fitch, of blessed memory, whose idea it was to start a Jamaican bobsleigh team along with Mr. William Maloney. I'd like to recognize and salute Mr. Mike Fennell, former president of the Jamaica Olympic Association. When the idea came to him, he could have said no, and the people would have thought him reasonable, but he said yes. I want to remember with gratitude Colonel John Barnes of the Jamaica Defense Force, who volunteered and provided our first set of athletes for the Jamaica Bobsleigh program. On the policy side, I think it's important that we recognize the role of the Right Honorable Edward Siago and the inspiration that he provided at the beginning of this process, because policy met sport, and we should do more of that, Minister. Policy meets sport to advance the country. Minister Olivia Bobsleigh Grange was at the table from the very beginning and has been a lifelong supporter and our guardian angel. I remember not in this boardroom at the JTB, but in other boardrooms, Carol Guntley, Glenn Case, former directors, I salute them all. It took a village to start, and it has taken a village to get us where we are now. We can trace in Jamaica, not a straight line, but a line from, in sport, from Norman Manley all the way through, I would say, to Shelley and Fraser Price, and the excellence that we have seen along the way. Today we are here to recognize where we are today. We have qualified historically a monobob event with a woman, a 2-man event, and a 4-man event. There are many countries in the world that are much bigger than us, much more resources than us, that have not been able to do that. This is a step on a process of a plan that sees us going to 2026 with multiple qualifications in multiple events, and ultimately taking us to the podium in 2030. I am declaring that here now and declaring it into being. That is our plan, and that is what we are pursuing. The athletes that will be representing Jamaica, I want to call their names and honor them and have them recognized. Jasmine Fenletter, pilot for the monobob. Shanwayne Stevens, pilot for the 2 and 4 man, Nicoy Turgot, Rolando Reed, Ashley Watson, and Matthew Weckpe. They represent modern Jamaica. That is to say, they represent Jamaicans from in Jamaica and from her diaspora. I want you to know also the names of those who have worked tirelessly and voluntarily for this land. Darcy Parkins, Jamaica Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation Vice President of Finance and Administration. Natalia Stokes, my most problematic member of the executive, Vice President for Brand Management and Communication. Wayne Thomas, our push coach and chief technician. Pat Brown, head coach. Mark Silver, high performance director. Dr. Joe Brown, our physiotherapist. PC Harris, our creative consultant. And Kathleen Paluto, our PR consultant. I take time to call their names because I want you to know their names. These are people working. I wish to thank our sponsors, Puma, that all but doubled our sponsorship from this year, long before it was clear that we would have done so well. CDL Aluminum Can Partners, a global canning company. Popongo, out of Colorado, a company that has a board game and founded by a Jamaican, Z-Stack, a supplement company that came on board just yesterday under the guidance of Binley Sangster, not the Binley Sangster you may think, but his son, Junior. I also want to recognize Ozark Gear and Melissa Price out of the Jamaica's embassy in Beijing. She has been working tirelessly to forge commercial relations for us in that market. Ozark Gear is on board, Swiss-found, Chinese-owned company. And I want to thank her. I want to thank Ambassador Hugh while I'm here. I want to thank also Ambassador Tien in Jamaica. We are bringing on board two huge, and I say bringing on board, they are partners who have been with us for a while, but we are looking at a new arrangement. Two huge brands from Jamaica, one of which I will announce today. I want to recognize our national funding organizations, the Sports Development Foundation, that has been with us sometimes under the prompting of our minister through good and bad times. I need to recognize the International Olympic Committee and the scholarships that they have provided through the Solidarity Program grants and different initiatives that they have in place to get our athletes prepared. I want to recognize the Jamaica Olympic Association that has worked with the IOC and the Jamaica Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation to ensure that the funding available through the international body gets to the Jamaica Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation. Allow me to make a special mention. This is an international call. We have press from all over the world. Allow me to recognize three bobsleigh and skeleton associations in particular. The one is the Canadian Bobsleigh and Skeleton Association, and their president, Sarah Story, a lifelong supporter of Jamaica Bobsleigh, as was her father before her. And they have provided us with the 4-man bobsleigh that we will be using at the Olympic Games, and this sled was a medal-winning sled from 2010. We were faced with buying our own sled for 140,000 euros, which seemed daunting. They have an elite world-class sled, and I want to thank them for making that available to us. It's a sled we qualified in, and it's a sled that we will be using in the Olympic Games. I wish to thank British Bobsleigh Skeleton that has allowed us to use their training facility at Bath University in the United Kingdom. I think it's also important that while we have that our ongoing relationship and our training base is GC Foster College right here in Jamaica. People hear about Jamaica Bobsleigh, they need to understand that it is a domestic bobsleigh program. And that is where we train, this is where we recruit our athletes. I was brought to tears this morning, literally, from a call from the president of the US Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation, who said to me, "Chris, I've heard of your problems, and the US Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation will make available to Jamaica physiotherapy services at the Beijing Olympic Winter Games in February." Ladies and gentlemen, there is no better country and culture to be born into than Jamaica. Today I want to shine a light on that and to recognize that indeed it takes a village. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chris Stokes, CEO of the Jamaica Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation. Now, we have a very good surprise for you in a moment. So we're launching and we're making an announcement, but this is a value added. And I would just like you to look at your screens and behold the official bobsled song.
These guys have been tested, proven, failed, risen, come back, worked hard, been frustrated, wanted to quit, decided to go on. Still here in the game, very powerful personalities. Their strength, you'll see them in the weight room lifting a lot of weight, but their strength comes from their soul. They are descendants of Nanny and Paul Bogle and Marcus Garvey, who are very strong, robust people from inside. From inside, it's hard to keep us down. And I believe that will come out, that will rise to the top, and the whole world will see.
We're not just a movie, feeling us and groovy, forever faster, moving like a rocket blaster. Going pan never go so we juke and we firm. Champion step so we glide and we turn. Move faster, gold medal we earn. Fire pan ice, yes, give it to me twice. To the left, to the right, rev it up like a bike. See pan the scene, we sexy and clean. Lioness pan the move, here we go, let's go. Number one pan the ice, just know so we flow. Oh yes, we a firecracker, lappa lappa, non-stopper, hotter hotter. Say less chatter chatter, mind over matter. Cause we win the crowd, oh yeah. Oh, that's how we flow. A 1, 2, 3. Shoot it like a bullet, them can't catch we. Enough confidence and personality. Say yes, oh yes, number one, pan the scene, number one.
Rise up a track, start she run fast. Papa said, would you run the race? Never look back. Mama turn on the podcast for you, them I watch the biggest race and how your life start with a glass top.
To the left, to the right, rev it up like a bike. Scene pan the scene, we sexy and clean. Lioness pan the move, here we go, let's go. Number one pan the ice, so you know, so we flow.
Rise up a track, start she run quick. Sit up at the bit, if you could jump in a basket. Push the alpine limit elastic. Maga like an actress in a bombastic.
We're not just a movie, feeling nice and groovy, forever faster, moving like a rocket blaster. We're not just a movie, feeling nice and groovy, forever faster, moving like a rocket blaster. We're not just a movie, feeling nice and groovy, forever faster, moving like a rocket blaster. We're not just a movie, feeling nice and groovy, forever faster, moving like a rocket blaster. Oh yes, we a firecracker, lappa lappa, non-stopper, hotter hotter. Say less chatter chatter, mind over matter. Moving like a rocket blaster. We're not just a movie, feeling nice and groovy, forever faster, moving like a rocket blaster.
It's already very catchy. We're not just a movie. Indeed, we are not. We are a very little big country. Yes, yes. I'd like to now introduce our Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports, the Honourable Olivia Grange, to bring her remarks.
Thank you. Honourable Minister Bartlett, Minister of Tourism, Chairman John Lynch, the Director of Tourism, who is here with us this morning as well, and the man of the moment, Chris Stokes, President of Jamaica Bobsled Federation, media and all those who are joining us virtually. Today is a great day, and we're very happy to be here. I also want to recognize Kieran Stokes, who is responsible for finance and sponsorship, and also the wife of Chris Stokes, which is very important. It's been a journey, It's been a journey, and this morning I'm really happy that we're able to celebrate, because this morning is a celebration. Whenever there's a global sport event featuring our country's sportsmen and sportswomen, we can be guaranteed one thing: Jamaica will get great exposure during, before, and after the event. And we have been seeing that great exposure for Jamaica over the last few weeks as the world gets ready for the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing. In every country, on every major network, on news websites, and in the major newspapers and magazines, everywhere there's been an inspirational story. One or two stories or more about Jamaica's sportsmen and sportswomen getting ready to warm up the Winter Olympics. The stories about our extraordinary bobsled and skiing representatives in 2022 Games have been the greatest advertisement for everything that we want the world to see. We want the world to hear, and we want the world to feel about Jamaica. This amazing achievement of qualifying a record 3 teams in bobsled, as well as for the first time an alpine skier, is a great achievement and a wonderful motivation to our nation as we begin the year-long celebration of Jamaica's 60 or Diamond Jubilee. Who could have imagined that our nation could have such an impact on world sport and culture in such a short time, 60 years? Once again, our athletes proved to be great ambassadors. They may not have been given the explicit invitation for people to come to Jamaica and feel all right, but their presence on the world scene has caused so many people to make it Jamaica. In their roles as sports and cultural representatives, Jamaican sports stars, every single one of them, have contributed meaningfully to Jamaica, especially in the areas of commerce, travel, and tourism. It's costly to run the various sports programs across Jamaica. We do our best as a government. We do our best through the Sports Ministry and through the Sports Development Foundation. My ministry supports the programs of about 40 national sports federations with monthly subventions. We also fund special training and competitive activities of the federation. In fact, last year we contributed 70 million to the bobsled preparation. But despite our efforts, the Ministry of Sport alone cannot provide the funding that our sports programs and our sportsmen and women need. We need partners. And so this morning, I'm very happy about the partnership with the tourism ministry, with the tourism sector, and members of Team Jamaica to the Winter Olympic Games. I'm very heartened by the support being announced this morning by the minister himself, who we can always depend on to be there for us. The Jamaica Tourist Board, which falls under his ministry, and of course, Sandals Group, which has contributed also to this effort. It's a wonderful feeling to know that tourism are real partners in this effort. I look forward to a long-lasting and lucrative relationship between the tourism sector and not only bobsled, but with the sports sector as a whole and all our national representatives. In a few days, Minister Bartlett and I will launch Reggae Month, the month-long celebration of our music, which takes place every February. As is the case all over the world, our Reggae Month celebration is impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. But we will still have activities every day, and we invite the world to join us online until we are able to say, welcome to Jamaica. I'm delighted to say that one of the soundtracks for Reggae Month this year will be Rocket Blaster, the official song of the bobsled team. It has an uplifting reggae beat that tells the story of the Jamaica bobsled team. It's an inspiring story, and it's also both a reminder and proof that nothing is impossible. We don't have no snow, ladies and gentlemen, but here we are competing with the world's best in winter sports. I use this opportunity to congratulate and send best wishes to Team Jamaica, the athletes, their coaches, and other support staff. We are immensely proud of all of you, and we wish you all the best. And so, as I started, it's been a journey. There have been good times and bad times, ups and downs, but we never give up. That's the spirit of the Jamaican. And so, we are happy to be participating in the Winter Olympics and to say Jamaica will be the hottest thing on ice. Thank you very much.
Well said, Minister of Culture, Honorable Olivia Grange. Thank you so much for those kind words. And I would like now to turn over to our Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Edmund Bartlett, to bring his remarks.
Thank you very much, Ms. Fennell, my colleague Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports, and Olivia Bobsleigh Grange, who we have worked together for longer than we are willing to tell the world, lest they date us. The Chairman Lynch, again, another giant and long-standing partner of ours and tourism, not just in Jamaica, but in the Caribbean. Our Director of Tourism, Donovan White, and of course the man of the moment himself, Chris Stokes. And just by way of a little introduction of my own situation here, I know that history will record that I was your minister when it began, and that when everybody thought it wasn't possible, I knew it was possible. And so Mike Fennell and myself teamed up to work with you so Jamaica could have had its first bobsled team participating in an international event. So I'm very moved by this moment when we have taken our own involvement to this higher level of participation. And I'm excited about the outcomes. And I'm very pleased, that the world today, through social media and the multitude of news outlets covering the story all over the world, can be saying, Jamaica, yes, we have a bobsled team competing in the Winter Olympics again. So for the first time since 1998, a four-man bobsled team from Jamaica has qualified to compete in the Winter Olympic Games, which will be held in Beijing this February. In fact, this is the first time ever in our island nation's history that we will be competing in 3 bobsleigh events: the four-man team, the two-man team, and the new women's monobob. With this achievement, many people are fondly recalling the first time Jamaica qualified to compete in bobsleigh back in 1988 in that Winter Olympics in Calgary. And I recall that earlier for you. That original bobsleigh team won the hearts of viewers around the world and inspired the blockbuster movie Cool Runnings. And I just want to tell you that everywhere in the world that I go, a reference point is Cool Runnings. It's an amazing impact that we made in the global scene, not just entertainment and in film, but it gave a definition of Jamaica that lingers. People still see us as being that unique country that created a unique experience of bobsleighers who have never seen snow. Amazing. Therefore, I ask you to join with me for a moment in giving a big round of applause to all these truly outstanding athletes, both past and present. And Chris spoke about the present in glowing terms. So on behalf of myself, our government, and all of our citizens, We're so very proud of you and everything you have accomplished so far, despite all the odds. We're also profoundly grateful to you for representing your country so well. You show your national spirit by waving our flag and speaking about your love for your country at every opportunity. And this is so important to us, and especially in this year of our 60th anniversary of independence. And Minister Grange spoke so well about that and indicated the program not in its entirety, but in short form, starting with the Reggae Month observation, which we have jointly agreed to promote. And we will be promoting many things together throughout the year. Both of us are joined at the hip, as is well known. So it's a B, we're not sure. So we deeply appreciate everything that you've done, Chris and the team. Furthermore, I think you demonstrate the warm, friendly nature of the Jamaican people, as well as our indomitable spirit that has earned you the respect and support of fans everywhere. And it is a remarkable character that I believe you embody the spirit of Jamaica and the real heartbeat of Jamaica that we speak about in tourism. So for why it is that I think travelers continue to choose Jamaica instead of elsewhere? That's a big question that a lot of people ask. And why is it that Jamaica has an extremely high repeat visitor rate, 42%, the highest arguably in the world? Other destinations have beautiful natural landscapes, of course, and indeed they have sand and sea, and they give fun too. And but there are other things. There is the iconic attraction called the people of Jamaica. And it is that attraction that is so unique, so special, born, as I always say, from the confluence of cultures and ethnicity. There's a piece of everybody in the world in Jamaica. And we created that in our own representation of ourselves through our motto, out of many, one people. And so this is why we can participate in so varied activities where it is not expected that we could, because a little piece of everybody is in us. And I like to say that Jamaica is not a country, we're an idea. A great idea that so many people can participate in, can contribute to, and can feel a part of. And that's what makes us so very special and unique. So as we move through to develop a new approach to our own tourism and a new approach to the building of the key products that are drivers of this tourism, sports tourism is going to be a critical pillar on which this new arrangement is. And the Prime Minister and the Minister and myself have been talking about this, and we're putting resources together to enable this. Entertainment and sports are going to be mega pillars on which the new tourism is going to be predicated the way forward. And you'll hear more about that as we speak to building out an academy for the entertainment arts so as to enable training, certification, and to create the skill sets that are required to be appropriate for the industry that tourism is. So we can respond more readily to the passions of people, because that's why they travel. They travel to fulfill their passions, and we must build products around their passion points. And so the pandemic, being what it is, has created an opportunity. And we see an opportunity in every adversity. And the opportunity for us to reset is what is before us. So our contribution to the Bobsleigh team to make it possible for you to enter is really part of the broader contribution that is being made by so many good people who you have mentioned. And we want to thank them and to commend them. You know, $3 million Jamaican dollars is not as much as we would want to do, but we know that it will fill an important gap. But Chris, the bigger issue is the spirit of Jamaica that is with you, that is behind you, that is propelling you. And so as you, she said you skate on the ice, we say you glide. So as you glide on the ice, you know that at the end of the day, there is Jamaica that will be here to say thank you for your efforts. So God bless you. Good luck in Beijing. We will be there behind you, be with you. And I didn't want to use the minister's term because they have it in my script. Yeah. But since she forced me to the hottest thing on ice, I would only conclude by saying the gliders on ice. Yes, that will make everyone come back to Jamaica. In closing, I use this line regularly because God, in his wisdom, when he made the world, and after 7 days he looked and saw that something was missing. Then he created Jamaica. So Jamaica came on the 8th day of creation. God bless you, and thank you all.
Thank you so much, Minister, for those very encouraging words. Our athletes are at the core of everything that is happening now. They're the ones taking the banners globally, and they will be the ones competing for the gold. And we thank them. Unfortunately, they were not able to join the press conference because they're already en route to China. But we were able to get some messages from 2 of our athletes.
Hey everyone, my name is Jasmine Fenlater Victorian, and I'm a member of the Team Jamaica Bobsled and Skeleton team. I am so proud and honored beyond how I can express how amazing it is that we qualified for the Beijing 2022 Olympics. From the trials and tribulations we've experienced as individuals, as a team, as a nation, navigating through this pandemic that's lasted 2 years, it is incredible that we've qualified, and not just qualified, but qualified in a historical moment in so many ways, having 3 different qualifications for different events, including our alpine skier. That's a 4th event in winter sports, as well as it's the inaugural women's bobsled event. First time ever it's going to be in the Winter Games, and our little island is part of that history. Wow. I can't begin to tell you how proud and honored I am and excited. What can you expect? You know we're gonna bring the heat. When we step on the line, we're gonna bring our best. We've been working so hard, and we cannot wait to showcase all that hard work, laying it out on the line on the biggest stage. And we're gonna represent you guys proud. Thank you so much for all your support, and we love you. Love you, Jamaica, and we can't wait for you guys to cheer us on in the coming weeks.
It means a lot to us to qualify for the games. We've worked extremely hard over the last 4 years to achieve what we've achieved. So I think everybody, I think I can speak for everybody and say that we're extremely proud to obviously represent Jamaica, represent Jamaica Bobsleigh, and just represent everybody that is a massive Cool Runnings fan. So we can't wait to sort of get out there and put in the best performance that we can. People can expect us to definitely bring the fire and ice. We're going to go out there and put in the best performance that we can. We're not just a movie, we're here to obviously compete and do the best performance that we can. So we're going to go out there, represent Jamaica Bobsleigh, and I can guarantee you that we are going to go off the top of that hill like an absolute rocket.
Awesome. Thank you. Sorry, I'm having a little feedback there, guys. All right, so please think about your questions. We're moving into that segment, and we have both our ministers here. We have Mr. Stokes, we have our chairman, director. But I'm going to ask them to just seal the deal for me for our commitment of $3 million. Minister? And then I'll ask Mr. Stokes
Just want to make sure
to do the to do the honors.
I thought of it. It's witnessed by a minister, so we can renege.
Yes.
I'm Cupid.
All right, as we are finished with the signing, we are going to invite questions from our media. Now we have media from all across the globe. and I'm sure they may be chomping at the bits to get some questions in.
Just put your John Hancock next to mine. Right up there. Put your John Hancock next to mine.
We're not seeing any direct questions so far, just a lot of congratulations, Minister Bartlett, Minister Grange. One question, Jordan Foote. Oh, Fort, sorry, I didn't see that.
Firstly, I think I want to ask a quick one to Chris. For an update on the situation, I know that I think you said that the team is now on to Beijing. I know I saw a story from a couple of days ago about some issues getting the visa. So is everything sorted out now with that?
This press? This okay? Okay, Chris. So, Jordan, good to hear you. Yes, good to hear you, Jordan. I think we make ourselves comfortable with the idea and the fact that everything is a challenge. We are not surprised or deterred. It just is what it is. So one of our athletes had an issue with not a visa, his passport and getting a visa. I have to say it's been all hands on deck. Ambassador Ricardo Alicock, Ms. Melissa Price out of Beijing, Ambassador Tian here have worked, and I ought to mention also Mr. Andrew Winter at PICA, who have all come together in the interest of Jamaica to make it happen. And as I speak, that issue is being resolved. The rest of the men's team, before we started the press conference, they were boarding their flight in London to head to Paris, Tokyo, Beijing. The North American group will start leaving tomorrow, and that is Wayne Thomas, Pat Brown, and Jasmine Fenletter will be leaving tomorrow. Again, New York, Tokyo, Beijing. So, Jordan, there will be challenges, but I think the resources are at the table to identify them and overcome them. And, we're still on our feet.
Yeah, Jordan, did you have another question?
I know, I guess Chris and the minister, Minister Green, can also speak to this. I know, Chris, that you have done some innovative things like launching an NFT. I believe that you have a store. I'm not sure about that, so you can confirm. But and then I just heard the music just now, the theme song. So clearly, you're doing a lot, as the JD said, to market this and to ensure that it's an overall experience. But one thing I want to ask is, I don't know how the arrangement was with Cool Runnings, the movie. I know the Jamaica Bobsleigh team, were the motivators behind that film, but I don't know how much Jamaica benefited from it, or the Jamaica Bobsleigh Federation benefited from it, or continues to benefit from it because it continues to rake in royalties. So my question is, are there any plans now? Because I think there's a Netflix thing in the works, or there are some cameras following around members of the teams to ensure that there is a partnership that Jamaica benefits, the federation itself, and for the minister, the government itself can benefit from any of the exploitation of Jamaica's poets.
Boy, I don't know if I was under some illusion that you'd ask me a simple question, John, and you certainly put pay to that very quickly. We have to be careful how we judge these things. In 1988, I was a college student eating sardine and white rice, and a guy comes to me and says, "We're going to make a movie of your life, and here's a couple grand." And I was like, "Geez, I've never seen so much money in my life." I mean, my bank, when I went there to deposit the check, my branch manager asked me where I get that kind of money from, and it was a couple shillings. now, looking back. But what we have seen, not just in Jamaica, but in the movie industry, we have seen where, like, Forrest Gump is suing their studios over their rights. Things have changed. We now have intellectual property understanding and office, I believe, in Jampro. The minister right here beside me, on many occasions, we're about to do deals, and she has asked me explicitly, do you have legal advice? The understanding that what Mr. Bartlett mentioned, that the idea of Jamaica has value, was not set in 1987 or 1988. We are very clear on that now. So we approach it quite differently. You mentioned a couple of other things. I'm very clear in my mind, and I was speaking about, just mentioning this to Director White before, that the business side of Jamaica Bobsleigh has to be as big as the sports side, because that's how you pay the piper.
That's correct.
Somebody said something about taking cash to care. I can't remember.
Yes.
Don't know who said that. Right.
It's our metaphor.
Okay. Right. So I'm under confidentiality. Do not be surprised to hear things. We have a crew following us around. I can say that. I can say that we're at the table from different angles with both Netflix and Disney Plus. But we're doing the work. One of the things I learned in life is that you grow in tomatoes, you water it and you mulch it up, and that's why it don't grow yet and why not ripe yet. Do the work, and the fruit will come. So we're doing the work right now. All right.
Yes, the farmer who sows every day reaps every day.
The business of sports and the business of music, those are very important. We have come a long way in understanding this. Jamaica is a natural brand, and we have grown over the years. And what we have now ensured, government has ensured through the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, is that the mechanisms and the infrastructure that is necessary to inform our athletes and our creative people that they are able to, one, negotiate. And this is a business where you can't be jack of all trades. So if you're making a deal, you need an attorney. If you're signing an agreement, you must get counsel. You must go through that agreement and know that you understand what you're signing. There are best practices all over the world. There are organizations all over the world. There's an industry called the copyright industry. And so athletes and writers and singers, they all can benefit through their royalties. So whatever deals are being done now, whatever may have happened in the past, we will see how we can recoup, regularize. But going forward, we're doing it the right way. And so you can all rest assured, we have actually conducted workshops with World Intellectual Property Office and the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office here in Jamaica for our sports men and women and for our artists or writers. So we are ensuring that going forward, their rights are protected. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Thank you very much, Minister. And Chris, we have two more questions. Persons want to know the full name of the team, as in the full complement. Let me look at this again. Sorry, I took a photo. Right, provide the names of all the current athletes competing in the Beijing Games. And two, this is Sophia Findlay from Toronto, the Toronto-based North America Gleaner. How long was the team training before qualifying? How many females on the team?
Thank you. Let me start with the last first. We have qualified in the Monobob event that will be piloted by Jasmine Fenley. In the two-man, we have pilot Shanwayne Stevens, brakeman Nimroy Turgot, and alternate brakeman Ashley Watson. In the four-man, we have pilot Shanwayne Stevens and a crew of Matthew Weckby, Rolando Reed, and Ashley Watson. So that is the team. That is the team going. There was another.
Female.
How many? I thought that's why I started Jasmine. Jasmine in the Mona Bob.
Right.
Right. So that's the one female athlete.
Okay.
Right.
And how long were they training?
So I'm going to give you an answer, and I want you to take it all their life. And I need you to take that seriously. No, I need you to take that seriously. All right, it's all your life. You see how Jasmine conducts herself in the video. You see how Shanwayne conducts himself. That's not something you learned last week. You see when Nimroy Turgot from Augustown is being interviewed on the Today Show on NBC, shown all over the world, all over America, and represents his community and his country well. You don't learn that last week. I suspect what she's asking is, training on the ice. I think the newest person on the team is Rolando Reed, and he'd have been competing for 2 years. Jasmine has been at this from 2010. It took me about 6 years to get her to come home. And Shanwayne has been in the program. He's from St. Thomas. He's been in the program for 5 years. So this is something that you have to come with an athletic background, and you're looking at really 5-6 years as a pilot before you get to where you can even be talking about qualifying. Yes. So that's what we've been doing.
All right, thank you so much, Chris. We're not currently seeing any other questions currently, but if you do need any sort of additional comments or any background information, we're willing to provide that. So we'll work through our agencies to get that over to all the media. And congratulations again. Yes, you do, after. And we're all proud. And we will be.
Presentation of the letter to him.
Yes.
On camera.
Okay, great. All right. So Minister Bartlett is going to formally, and Minister Grange, formally present our commitment or support. Let's move that. Thank you.
Although you are the rose,
Yes, good.
Hand over, and I just watch.
Let me get my mask.
Yes. Move those. And I'm so sorry, I went too quickly. We have a question from the Wall Street Journal when you're finished. Yes.
So we see we're now gonna have to shake hands because
let's do this.
We're gonna block her
Oh,
out,
okay. No, we shake hands.
I'll elbow both of you.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Excellent. Very good.
Thank you very much.
While you take your seat, this is Stu from the Wall Street Journal. Could you tell us how conversations with the Canadian and the British Bobsled Federations began for their help?
Canadian and British.
Yes.
So, right. So, it was the founder of BET, Mr. Johnson, that I heard say once that you make your friends before you need them. The father of the president, the current president of Canada Bobsleigh, Mr. Bob Story, did an unusual thing in 1999 when he said that the International Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation Congress will be in Jamaica. And it was a signal to the world to get over themselves and understand that Jamaica Bobsleigh is here to stay. His daughter, Sarah Story, is now the president of the Canadian Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation. Jamaica has been a steadfast ally of her and Canada in the international bobsleigh movement. So that when I called and said, Sarah, I hear you have a monster sled in the cupboard, in the storeroom, and we don't have a sled. Sure, Chris, what did you have for breakfast? Because you build up trust, and credibility. When people trust and respect you, business goes at the speed of light.
Yes.
Speed of light. You just do the deal and we're on and off with it. I don't know if I'm getting her in problems now. We haven't signed anything to today. But we have the sled. I got news this morning that it arrived safely at the base near the track in Beijing. Thanks, by the way, to Rocket Global, which is another Canadian company. It takes a village. Rocket Global provides shipment services for the Canada Olympic Committee. And they come up and say, Chris, I hear you're having a hard time finding flights. We have something leaving out of Montreal. We're coming for your things.
Great.
How you put up?
Yeah.
How do you? I mean, you guys are. What is that worth? What,
Yes.
What is the dollar value of that?
The dollar value.
No, what is? I don't know what the dollar value of that is.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know what the dollar value of that is. So, so that's how the deal. That's how it was done. And it's a fabulous sled. Fortunately, it is already black, so when we put the flag on it, it fits easily. And I'll tell you a quick story, and the media may be interested in this. We had an older sled, and our coach Wayne Thomas called me and said, Mr. Chris, it's a combination of respect and sort of affection and respect. Mr. Chris, I have to dissect that one day. So, Mr. Chris, the sled is breaking apart in the track. This is, by the way, in an Olympic qualification season. And I had that conversation with Syria. I said, we need some help. And when she said yes, Wayne Thomas and Rolando Reed left Park City, Utah at 2 a.m. in the morning, drove to Calgary in Canada, picked up the sled and drove back, and by the next day they were in training in Park City in the sled. Now again, that's not salary, That's not compensation. That's the people believe in what they're doing. People believe in what they're doing. They believe in the cause and why we're doing what we're doing. And again, that is something that you can't pay for. So in this Olympic Games, the thing I'd like to emphasize is the brotherhood, relationships that sports allows us to build across borders. And I cannot tell you how many people in Bobsleigh have come to Jamaica privately. And Minister, I don't know if I should, in fact, I won't ask the question, Minister Bartlett. The International Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation Congress, celebrating its 100th anniversary in 2023, will be in Jamaica.
Yes.
So we'll have to come for the extra zero, sir.
So
yes.
No, it's not the extra zero. We are partners on that.
We're partners on that. So, yes,
that
and
no
forgive me
zero
for
to it.
right. Forgive me for I have discussed it with the minister, my minister, of course. Yeah. But I will. We do need to speak about that. But that's the story behind that. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Chris. All right, we have officially no more questions online for now, so we are going to say thank you so much for joining us for this wonderful occasion. And from Jamaica, we all would like to say to you, one love, and watch us on ice. Thank you very much. Thank you, ministers. Thank you.
Thank you.